Hello, my name is Martin, and this is Let's Play Tango Fiesta, and thank you for watching. Tango Fiesta is a retro-style action game, guys, kind of like Smash TV, or, you know, Contra, or other old-school shoot-'em-up games. It has a little bit of that twin-stick shooter thing going on for it, but not completely necessarily, and we will talk about that in a bit. Released on Steam Early Access June 2014, which of course means that the game is still currently in active development. It says it right there on the top of the screen, for Pete's sakes. So that means everything you see is subject to change and not a final representation of the game. So, you know, just chill out and enjoy the preview, guys. Tango Fiesta is being developed by Spilt Studios and published by Mastertronic. You can go ahead and buy into the early access right now on Steam for $12.99, and there's also a 4-pack available for $39.99. I bring that up for a very good reason, which I will also discuss here in a little bit. Now, Tango Fiesta aims to capture that magic of old days, guys, when you're gathering around your giant 90s TV. You remember how big the TVs were in the 90s? And they were like, they took up half your house. And, you know, you plug in your system with your AV cables, and, you know, no one knows what the hell I'm talking about if you're, especially of the younger crowd. And you'd plug in, you know, your SNES, your NES, your Sega, whatever had you, and played some old action games and blow shit up. And it just used to be a lot of fun back in the day. The game tries to capture that aesthetic, that feel, you know, and it puts you in the role of action stars, quote unquote. You know, I hate to compare it to other games. It's kind of like a little bit of like Broforce mentality, where it's not taking itself too seriously and everything's, you know, let's blow some shit up, you know, that kind of mentality and that kind of humor. But it's not necessarily, you know, at the point that Broforce is at. This is an alpha. And the difference between an alpha and a beta, in case you're wondering, is that an alpha doesn't necessarily have all of its features in. And I stress this is very important. It doesn't necessarily have, alpha doesn't necessarily have all its features. It doesn't necessarily have all of its art assets in place, or its music assets in place. It's not necessarily even done, for the most part, basically. Whereas beta is a little bit more of a polished product that you present to an outside source for play testing and finding of bugs and, you know, things like that. And then they take it back, they fix it, and yada yada yada. So what I'm trying to say is that this game has quite a bit of ways to go. And the second thing I want to talk about is that this game is meant to be played with other players, which is why I brought up the 4-pack, guys. You want to play this game with other 4 players, and you have actually local multiplayer, online multiplayer, as you can see right there on the screen. And I would love to be playing this game with online multiplayer right now, but last time I checked, which was before I started this video, there was no other games going on. So we're going to be playing the game, you know, primarily by myself. But I can't stress that for you to get the most enjoyment out of this game, I think you should be playing it with other people. Especially if you plan on buying into the alpha currently. I can't stress it enough that play with other people, guys. Now I'm going to be playing the game, like I said, single player. I want to just check out the settings here really quick, just show you these off. Nothing really too surprising, nothing too over the top. The one thing I will say that I did like about it, though, is that the game does go up to 1080p, which is pretty cool. And it does have rebindable controls, which is also very sweet. The game, of course, does feature controller support as well. But I had issues with my controller. Not that the controller didn't work. It's just that the overall control schemes for a twin-stick shooter are kind of wonky. What do I mean by that? Well, you could move your character, but you couldn't with the you move your character with the left thumbstick, for instance, but you can't fire with the right thumbstick. All it does is aim, and the fire button is different from the aiming button. So it's just, it doesn't necessarily have the entire twin-stick shooter aspect to it as far as the controller goes, but it does with the keyboard and mouse. So it's kind of weird. I don't really understand. That's probably something they're just going to work on. They're going to fix up eventually. And are getting to. The game does have several characters, 6 characters currently that you can pick from, 6 action stars, action heroes that you can be. All of them with their own different kinds of stats and their own. Well, they don't have their own starting weapons, but they do have their own starting stats, and they all kind of play a little bit different. I think I'm going to pick McMillan because an afro and an eye patch is pretty badass right there. Plus his stats, you know, are fairly well-rounded. He doesn't have too many weaknesses. The game does also feature, you know, different kinds of guns that you can pick from. And you can also buy some guns in the gun store, which you saw a little bit earlier. As you get more money and, you know, start playing the game, you basically have a primary weapon, which you have like the primary for 2 choices to start, and a secondary weapon, which will just pick a shotgun. And eventually, I guess they'll have different kinds of grenades here. Currently, there are 16 levels in the game that you can play, and that includes, you know, bosses as well. I think I think each fourth board of a board is a boss board. I'm not 100% sure about that. That's just what I noticed when I played Gordon's Revenge here, that this was a boss board. I could be wrong, but I've been playing the game for about, I want to say 30 minutes. And yes, that does seem like a small amount of time for, you know, playing the game. I usually give these games about 45 to an hour to get a really good, you know, depth of them. But to be honest with you, that was kind of all I really needed to understand things. So yeah, the game has these different kinds of objectives that you need to accomplish throughout the board, depending on the board itself. Usually they'll involve either capturing a tower or destroying something. So let's talk about what you're looking at right here. Well, on the bottom left, right. Oh, hey there. Hey. I'm talking here. I got things to do. Would you go to hell? All right, the game's not gonna let me talk, obviously. On the top left, you can see it. There's a green bar beneath that text, which is one of the things I was kind of like, why is that there? They kind of block your view of your health bar. I'm not sure if that was on purpose. Again, there's probably just, you know, little things that they need to just touch up on, little things that they're going to fix. Below that is kind of like an energy bar. As you can see, it's kind of draining. That represents my sprint bar. I sprint by pressing the shift button. It allows me to move at a little bit of a faster pace, move around enemies, you know, try to kind of get behind them and shoot them from afar. Basically, as you can see right here, I'm just using my, like I said, my keyboard and mouse here to kind of fight these enemies. It has kind of an 8-directional type of aiming thing. Like, they're going for that more aesthetic of a, you know, old arcade game. They're not necessarily going for Binding of Isaac style action here. You're not, you know, going to be able to aim at a very specific point. You're basically just going to be aiming in one of, you know, 8 directions. That's just about it. And then below that, I'm not really sure what that yellow bar is. Oh, is that a grenade bar? Nope, that's not a grenade bar. I don't know what that bar is. I'm not 100% sure what that yellow bar does, guys. It's not a melee bar. You also do have a melee attack here, which I find to be rather devastating, and it's kind of hilarious because you can destroy the environment with it. There is a destructible environment. I could just sit here and farm these guys, couldn't I? The melee attack is just ridiculously overpowered, by the way. You can just pretty much annihilate everything with your melee attacks here. And there's one thing I will say is that while there is a destructible environment, I do find myself getting stuck on the environment a lot. I'm going to start killing people here. A lot of Wilhelm screens going on here. So that pretty much gives you kind of a good idea of what you're looking at here. Like I said, there's up to 4 players. Now we're going to start heading towards these arrows here. I got busy killing people. I moved through the brush. I guess the brush kind of slows you down. Now this is one of the objectives of this particular board. And all we really need to kind of accomplish our particular mission in this game is just kind of walk up to it and interact with it, which is a lot. There's a lot. To be honest, it's really easy. Now enemies will start spawning in, and you can't really do anything else while you're interacting with the object. But to be honest with you, like I said, it's not really that hard. It's really, I found it to be kind of easy, matter of fact. So that's one objective down. Now I could just run through these enemies and just ignore them. And just kind of head to the next objective here. Start doing this thing. And I'm being shot. But again, you know, it's not really going to be that long to do this. And I could just kill that guy. And eventually just find some guy who will eventually give me my health back. The game's not too difficult, is what I'm trying to say. It has more of a focus on fun, I feel, than necessarily difficulty. Maybe at least in this point in the alpha, guys. I am experiencing a little bit of a drop in FPS. That probably... I don't know what you are. What are you? Oh, you're a predator. Ah, it's a predator. Now, I can roll my mouse wheel. Whoa, mouse wheel? Yeah, my mouse wheel. I'm fighting predators. That's pretty awesome. To switch weapons, which I've gone ahead and switched to my shotgun here. Just to show you what that's like. You do have grenades, you have a melee attack. Excuse me, are you a commander predator here? Or are you just a What the hell? Very kind of that predator just to stand there and let me annihilate him. And that's another thing that kind of, it's an alpha thing. I think it's something they need to fix. Sometimes, you know, health upgrades or ammo upgrades will fall into areas that you can't necessarily reach. And that can be a little frustrating. When, you know, you're trying to collect, you know, ammo or that one health thing that you needed. Are you here? No, here. I do have to say, I will give kudos for the predator shot out there. I think that's pretty sweet. Oh, and they laugh and then they explode, which is also kind of hilarious. Even though that guy didn't explode. Yeah, I mean, as far as the graphics go, the graphics are, I don't know if they're done yet. They're okay. I'm gonna kill this guy. Hopefully he blows up. Oh, I guess he's not dead yet. Are you dead now? Nope, didn't blow up. Thank you for saying that. Letting me kill you. You're dead, sir. The graphics are okay, guys. I'm not, you know, they're kind of, they kind of remind me a little bit of like a Flash game, and I don't want that to sound, you know, mean or, you know, in any way negative to the game. They're just, you know, I think they're meant to look retro. They're meant to look old school. And who knows? They might be changing, you know, in sometime in the near future. Let's smash through this building. Actually, let's just throw a grenade. He's dead. There you go. He's gone. He's no longer alive. Let's reload. I also find myself kind of getting stuck on things a lot. Like these rocks and trees and stuff like that. It's very easy to get stuck in Tango Fiesta, I've noticed. Could you please aim at him? That would be fancy schmancy. Right now that we've accomplished our goal, basically, we're just trying to find whatever's left of the resistance, basically, and kill them all before we end the board. I am very low on health. I need to be very careful, I just realized. Because I could die extremely easily. I don't know what he just did. Take a grenade! Ah, he's fast. That would be great if you died. Thank you. That guy has an ammo crate. That's not necessarily what I'm looking for. Oh boy. Avoid that guy's shots. Alright. Oh, this is not good. We've got two predators here. Oh, and I got smoked. Alright, well, I wasn't paying attention to my health. That's mostly because I couldn't friggin' see it. Let's try, like, I think spacebar is the, or is it enter? Okay, I guess it took me back to the main menu here. We'll go back into the game here. We'll go back to Macmillan. There's a lot of different characters for you to enjoy here. All of them have different stats. But for the most part, they all kind of play the same. Yeah, that's fine. Let's try that again. This time we're just going to kind of make a straight line for the objective. And we'll hopefully be able to take out those predators. You can also skip these little intros by hitting the start button, which is also very nice, because, you know, sometimes I don't want to watch that for very long. Okay, so let's just move through the jungle very quickly. Also, there's sometimes objectives that you need to kind of attack. Like this one right here. We need to kind of unload on that thing. Die! Yeah. Very good. Collect all of this money if we can. As much money as we can, anyways. The little gold that they're dropping, by the way, we can use to purchase... we can use to purchase items in the weapon shop, which I'll probably go ahead and show you once we get this board done here. Okay, that's done. Fantastic. Okay. I guess the little arrows above them kind of disconnect what they might have on them, by the way. Like that one had extra gold. Some of them have med kits. Can I move through this little tiny crack? No, I cannot. One thing I will say that I do like about the game is the sound effects are really spot on. The music's pretty good. And it plays very well to the overall theme of the game. Is that guy going to shoot me or is he just going to stand there? He's just going to stand there. That's fine. I'm good with that. I'll take that. You commie bastards. Alright, kill this guy. So let's just go in here and use our melee attack. Because that seems to work out pretty well for us. Again, we are a little bit low on health. We were in a far better position than we were last time, though. I think it's funny that you can't shoot through bushes. Bushes absorb a bullet. Obviously, you know, these are some really damn strong bushes. What are these bushes made out of? Adamantium? Here's some strong-ass bush. Ah! Okay, take that. Okay, I was gonna say, can I not hit that guy if he's in that area? Okay, seriously, Bush, off! Just leave me alone, Bush. I like to grab that med kit! Yeah, that was kind of screwed up. Alright, whatever. Like I said, it's just the game still has a little bit of issues here and there to work out. I can go all crazy on the bushes though, Link style, and hack them up, which is very nice. There's some Link action for you. Let me just go all melee on these guys. They're dead. But yeah, I can purchase more guns. I haven't really purchased any yet. We'll probably go ahead and do that. We're down to one guy left. There was no predators this board. I don't really understand that. I wonder why there was predators last board, but there was, you know, none this board. Stuck on a rock. And we got that board done. Is that the first one? Did we do the first one by accident? Let's see. Well, actually, we're going to go ahead and go to the weapon shop so we can show that off a little bit. You can purchase new guns, like I said. Some of them have different like objectives attached to them. For instance, like this one says, get 50,000 points to purchase. This one's 200,000. Play as Miller. Play as John Strong. Get 300,000 points. 100,000 points. I don't know what that is. Defeat Dr. Fahrenheit. These are different bosses that you have to defeat to unlock certain guns as well. A lot of points. This one costs 95,000. We don't have anywhere close enough for that. We have only 65, so we can go ahead and purchase. Let's see, 40 damage of what currently? Wow, the shotgun is like way stronger than just about anything we have in here. We'll go ahead and buy the Arius A1 here. How do we do that? How do we? I'd like to purchase that gun. I'd like to purchase that gun. I'd like to... I don't know how to purchase things. Pressing enter is doing absolutely nothing. Well, there you go. You can purchase guns if you know how to do that. Kudos. Well, it's one of the new features, so it probably has a lot of bugs to work out here, guys. Let me show you what one of the boss fights is like, and then we'll probably wrap up the video. I found the boss fight to be kind of really... kind of easy, actually, because all I did was switch to my shotgun and just blast into pieces. I can imagine there's, like I said, there's probably somewhere in the neighborhood of probably 4 bosses, probably one per you know, area, even though it does say there's more bosses in the weapons shop, so don't quote me on that. There probably is more bosses than just that. So I'm going to switch my shotgun here. This guy just kind of just chases you. All the bosses do have like a little bit of like a pattern to them. Yeah, it's just something about the animation style. It just kind of, the way the characters move, it reminds me a little bit like a Flash game. I don't know why. But that could be just because, you know, like I said, not all the animations are in yet. The game is in alpha, guys. So, I thought he was going to start doing his attack. Oh yeah, so now he has like his new attack, where he starts kind of like trying to hit me. starts charging at me. It's really not that hard to avoid. But, you know, he's the first boss, so he's not meant to be that difficult anyways. And he is getting more and more naked, which is kind of hilarious. Oh my god, I got stuck on a rock. Which is not good. Oh, no, no, no. Bad, sir, bad. Yeah, so, like I said, it has like a kind of a twin stick shooter thing going for it, but it's more in, with the keyboard and mouse. Like, I can aim one direction with my mouse, and then I can shoot with the other. But for some reason it doesn't let you do that with the controller, which is kind of weird. But again, more things will be patched up, fixed up. I'm gonna hit escape here, guys. There is Steam cards available in the game currently. There is also a leaderboard, which is right there. Basically, depending on what score you get, how high of a score you get, depending on the board that you're playing. There is more planned features coming to this game. There's going to be more heroes, more worlds. Apparently there's going to be some sort of an XP and upgrading system, adding a little bit of an RPG element to the game. There will be vehicles added to the game from what I understand as well. I don't know when any of this stuff's coming out. I just know that there's planned features. And there is some sort of a campaign story mode planned here in this game here for you to enjoy. So now I've shown you a little bit about the game, guys. I can't, stress enough that this is a game you really want to play with other people, guys. I really feel that, in the current point in the alpha, the single-player experience is rather anticlimactic. And I feel players will enjoy themselves more with the chaos of other players thrown into the mix. I don't know if the difficulty scales with the number of players. I certainly hope it does. I just found it to be, just kind of really extremely easy to beat. Even though I kind of died once, the game really isn't that hard. I was kind of more screwing around and doing more talking than actually playing. But again, this is an alpha, guys, so we will have to see what the game is like in its final state, guys. Obviously, Tango Fiesta has a long way to go and a lot of polish to be added. There will be bugs, guys, in the game, and the developers actively squashing those. There is a fair amount of replayability here, but more is being added as they come out with more updates, guys. I would recommend this game if you plan on playing it with friends, but otherwise you might want to hold off a little while longer till more things are added to the game, guys. So big thanks to the developer and publisher for a chance to preview this game. Thank you for watching. Remember to subscribe and share as it really helps me out, and I'll keep bringing you awesome games, guys. Till next time, play more indie games.